Hi, my name is Justin, and I'm working on this debate with Rachel Briggs, and we are going to talk about why carrying guns should not be allowed by citizens on the premises of the state of Tennessee Capitol grounds. In 2011, the announcement that Representatives Heath Shuler of North Carolina and Jason Chauvette of Utah are planning to wear guns in their home districts had surprised many. But in fact, the United States has had armed congressmen before. In the rough and tumble Congress of the 1830s, 1840s, 1850s, politicians regularly wore weapons on the House and Senate floors, and even sometimes they've used them. It is no secret that guns can be dangerous, cause injuries, and even death. Once again, politicians are considered bearing arms not to use against one another, but potentially against an angry public. On the premises of the state capital of Tennessee, citizens should not be allowed to carry guns. To allow guns on Capitol grounds would violate the safety of citizens, government officials, and law enforcement. So the lawmakers were not wearing guns for protection against other lawmakers. They were wearing them for protection against the angry public. So if we don't allow the angry public to have them on the state capitol grounds, then there's no need for the representatives and lawmakers to be wearing them on the state capitol grounds. Therefore, there's less overall guns and everybody's safer. We know that many American presidents have been shot, and 4 presidents were actually shot and killed. Many more chief executives have escaped assassination attempts. Representative Gabriel Gifford of Arizona was shot in the head Saturday, January 6th of 2011 when an assailant opened fire outside of a grocery store during a meeting with constituents. These are just a few examples of lawmakers being victims of gun violence. None of these shootings, fatal or otherwise, have occurred on government or Capitol grounds. However, given the opportunity to have guns on the government or Capitol grounds, stories like these would surely be more numerous. Citizens carrying guns on government and state grounds contribute to making a situation more dangerous. In the summer of 2009, many Americans were shocked to see images of gun-toting protesters at a town hall meeting across the country. Many more were shocked to learn that this outrageous behavior was perfectly legal. There was no law stating that they weren't allowed to be there with guns. Across America, state legislators have significantly expanded the places in which permit holders may carry concealed firearms. If as a country we extend to guns to being carried on Capitol grounds, this is not going to create more peace, but rather create an environment of chaos, because we're always worrying about the safety of everybody. To allow the carrying of guns on Capitol grounds would raise the already high fear associated with firearms. Fear is another intangible cost of firearms in our society. The state capitol is a place where issues are supposed to be worked through and solved. Consequently, that can't occur if there are an exorbitant amount of fear. People are already afraid to be another gun violence victim. In fact, 9 out of 10 American respondents stating that they do not want average citizens to be able to carry guns in places like restaurants, college campuses, sports stadiums, hospitals, or government buildings. The reason is because so many people have a legitimate fear for their safety, and people have the right to feel safe. Unfortunately, America has many stories of gun violence. On June 14, 2017, a gunman opened fire on a group of GOP lawmakers and aides practicing for a charity baseball game in Alexandria, Virginia. The gunman fired up to 50 times with a rifle before he was shot and wounded by Capitol Police. Note that Capitol Police stopped the gunman, not citizens carrying guns. If a gunman was willing to open fire on lawmakers in a baseball field, then what is stopping someone from doing the same thing on the Capitol premises? By allowing citizens with firearms onto the state Capitol grounds, we are inviting more gun violence. America doesn't need any more gun violence stories. It already seems like they're an everyday occurrence nowadays. So by keeping the guns in the hands of the law enforcement and Capitol Police, we're creating a more safe environment. And so we know who has the guns. There aren't people walking around with guns that shouldn't have them on the grounds that we don't know about. This day and age we live in has too much violent crime in the United States, and guns are all too often involved in such crimes. Consequently, that is not all. Among the prosperous nations of the world, the United States is distinctive not so much because of its high volume of violent crimes, but because of the relatively high percentage of these crimes that involve guns. The people working in the Capitol are protecting, writing, and upholding our laws. Therefore, our leadership's workers and citizens' safety need to be a high priority. With this current trend occurring in America, the last thing that we need to provide is more environments and situations to encourage gun violence. This safety protocol would protect all parties emotionally, mentally, and their physical well-being. By prohibiting gun carrying on the state of Tennessee Capitol grounds, this is a necessary priority in order to protect everyone.